dajins inta. Bene hosen hitgen leni. Tron kelbens ansa. Chidi dan jonago da hat khalo den la da nego. So enda da ishin thaye da haloneda. Chil thajon da hatan la ne hosen. Ola do yont eran hitgen leni. Ash khora hastan hi ish. Nzad bigedon hidenne hohot on naskon hidenne da benalt eselen. Egi jato lehto ochot ego hat nido lehtanana para huishis. Nas ne holnora denne. Endet at the chindanek en a kredo lehto. Piho ne piho kato lehten de shitchai not net nego eben na horonchen so dilzen. Ne kan gedon hajin pa kuichin ashkode. Yo nen hinan yoto kodoyo ne benasi kato lehta job bato. Ehe hot a inan hat in ado hon sagonshi. Nche job body nido lehne hitigen leni Jesus Christ ben the kagona. Amen. Nan I koroshe agenda ki announcements. Mr. Tahi, do you have any announcements for us?
The chair, members of the Resource and Development Committee, a reminder that August 2nd is Nomination Primary Day as well as Arizona Primary Day. I encourage everyone to get out and exercise your right to vote. On Wednesday, August 3rd, 2022, RDC will conduct a regular meeting at 8 a.m. Chair, members of the committee, that's my announcement. Back to you, Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Tahi. Honorable members of RDC, do you have any announcements?
Mr. Chair, this is Delegate Daniel.
Honorable Daniels, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. Adonana Kodo, RDC members, Jahat Kodo, my brother Kodo, Chairman Nance, thank you Kodo, Kodo Zambahin, Kodo, I see Bake, Kodo. Ado Kodo Nagay, today I'm here at Twin Arrows just for your information. So I'm here with the 4 chapters, not the plan. We did 12 photos that we can. I don't know, her staff, FRS director, Mr. Thompson Harrell is here as well. Nagada CJ in 2922. Update each next chapters. The update each next but it only found with the should not honestly get chair. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Daniels. Hey, any other announcements?
Chairman, Delegate Freeland.
Honorable Freeland, you have the floor.
Good morning, Chairman. This morning, I'm in Albuquerque. I got in late last night, but I'm off to also another kind of a awareness meeting this morning on our homeless relatives, especially our Navajos, and bring some awareness to that here in the city of Albuquerque. Meeting with the mayor's staff this morning. At some point, I want to bring them to either this committee or the Navajo committee and have them do a report from the mayor's office and talk about the challenges that they're facing, whether it's social or health issues or any sort of ways that, how they're working with our especially our Navajo population. And it seems to be a concern, a huge concern for us. And just wanted to let you know that, Shnata, it's a very important topic that we can't overlook as leadership, because regardless of who they are, and they're still Navajo people, and we have to do our best to encourage them and support them as well, Shnata. Thank you. Thank you for the prayer, Chairman.
Thank you, Honorable Freeland. Recognizing guests and visiting officials, we'll just have introductions for all, starting with honorable members of RDC. Honorable Daniels.
Mr. Chair, thank you very much for the Herman Daniels Jr. AECG. I don't answer the petani. Kilachini, that's it. Not hidden there. Go ahead, Lenny, that's it. I don't know. I can't throw that's another. What I can hit in it left this morning. I don't know. Not as on or the Toshan Toro Tabi Kid Banashnas. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Daniels. Honorable Freeland.
Chairman, colleagues and staff, and everyone on this call, good morning. Shije A. Mark Freeland, Shiro, Adoptionigi Tutsoni, Sloro Kia Ani, A. Shije, Sanji Canada Shiche, Adoptina Bethany A. Shanale, these Osakaris in Shaya. I represent 8 chapters out of Eastern Agency, Crown Point, though, Nahadishki, I have Vicente, White Rock, Lake Valley, and Herpino, Ediasna. Thank you, Chairman. Good morning to one and all.
Would you like Honorable Freeland? Honorable Vice Chair Walker? Honorable Begay? Honorable Stewart? Okay, you have recognized in Shia Wasanan Slow Zait Kachin, Bashish Chain Sana Bitla Shichedo, Kia Ani da Shanala, what I had an end Slido, as Tango chapters, as Tango chapters, Banash Nishike, Yaha Hogback, San Juan, and Nizar Upper Frulan, Burnham, and Newcomb. Good morning and welcome, everybody. Honorable Stewart. Honorable Stewart, introductions.
Good morning, Chairman. Staff this morning. I am headed to St. Michael's from Sawmill. First, to take care of that, help them out, and then head back to St. Michael's. So that's where I'm headed to. I'll call from District 18 and 45th Agency. In the Dakota. And then it's a Friday, so let's have a good session today again.
Thank you, Honorable Stewart. We do have our staff here with us, Mr. Tahi.
Good morning, Chair, members of RDC. Thank you for that beautiful prayer to start this morning. My name is Rodney Tahi. I'm the Legislative Advisor for Resource and Development Committee. I'm Kiani and Senjakine, and I'm originally from Steamboat, Arizona. Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you. Ms. Chi?
Hello. Yeah, I've been on the phone. Although, she Karen Chin, she don't know, she touching is not my excuse, but she's I am the legislative assistant for RDC committee. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Chi. Ms. Khan?
Oh, thank you, Chairman Nez. So does Behenzi thank you so much. Yat et anatsko. She Mariana Khan, Dasha Jimmy. Don't enish lenigi a twohead leaning nishle, but I bushes chin, ash chit dasha che, Sanja Kenna dashanala. I could our son and nishle. Ado, I will be listening, Mr. Chair, for any amendments. Thank you. Good morning, one and all.
Thank you, Ms. Khan. We have some from Speaker's Office, Ms. Kirk.
Good morning, Chair, members of the Resources Development Committee, staff, guests. This is Nikita legislative staff assistant with also the speaker. Sheya Kia Onion Shlon Tratni Sani Bashichin, when Hogan Dashinalado, my Dashkin Dashache. Thank you for the prayers this morning, Chair Inez. Thank you.
Thank you. We have Ms. Jeremiah on the call. We have the Office of the President, Vice President, Ms. Clashen. Mr. Davis Filfred.
Good morning, Chair, members of the Resource and Development Committee, staff, and everybody that's listening in. I'm Davis Filford from Office of the President, Vice President, Executive Staff Assistant. I'll be listening in. Yesterday, I listened partial on my way to Flagstaff for the sacred site, the no-ball litigation thingy. Not in litigation, but I was out there, but I was listening to you guys. Be listening in today as well. Enjoy your day.
Thank you, Wilfred. Ms. Michelle Brown-Yazzie.
Good morning, Mr. Chair, members of RDC, staff, everyone on the line. My name is Michelle Brown-Yazzie. I'm the Assistant Attorney General for the Water Rights Unit. Tachi Inshle, Anatlana Bashichin, Senajini Dashache, Anatlana Dashanala, Natniljin Danasha. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Cecilia Thomas. Thomas. Mr. J.T. Willie.
Good morning, Mr. Chair and honorable members of the Resources and Development Committee. This is J.T. Willie with Division of Economic Development. Division Director Sedley, honorable members, and thank you very much, Mr. Chair, for that prayer this morning.
Thank you, Mr. Willie. Douglas Capitan.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Douglas Capitan. I'm the Support Services Department Manager with the Division of Economic Development. Yeah.
Thank you. Ms. Valinda Shirley.
Good morning, Yad Ebene. I'm Valinda Shirley with Navajo EPA. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Warren Roan. Ms. Eugenia Quintana.
Good morning, Yate Abena. She Eugenia Quintana Yenishia. She na kaidene ishland do hona mi bashichin toban hadashiche do kentachini dashanala. I'm the Environmental Department Manager, Air and Toxics Department, Navajo Nation EPA. Thank you.
Thank you. We have Mr. Garrett Silversmith on the call. Dr. Yellowman.
Good morning, Chair, and good morning, honorable members of RDC. Yate Hihap for the prayer this morning, and good morning to my colleagues and all of the staff on the line. Good morning, DCDs on the line.
Thank you. Mr. James Adekai.
Good morning, Yadesh. This is James Adekai from the Division of Community Development. Good morning, Yade.
Oh, Mr. Jason John.
Good morning, Chair. This is Jason John from Water Resources.
Thank you. Mr. Alexius Vicente.
Good morning, Mr. Chair, members of the Resources and Development Committee. This is Alexis Pacenti, Department Manager, Navajo Forestry.
Thank you. Ms. Karen Bedoni.
Good morning, Honorable Chair and committee members. My name is Karen Bedoni. I'm the Department Manager with Navajo AML.
Thank you. Mr. Byron Bitsoy.
Good morning, Chair, members of RDC, fellow staff members, and all that is listening. This is Byron Bitsui, GIS Supervisor, delegated for Navajo Land Department for Mr. Halona today.
Thank you. Mr. Manny Wheeler.
Yate Bena, this is Manuelito Wheeler, Director, Navajo Nation Museum. Thank you for your time, Honorable Chair and members of RDC and everybody else that is on the call. Good morning.
Thank you. Mr. Richard Begay.
Oh, Yate, I'm the Director of the Navajo Nation Heritage and Historic Preservation Department.
Thank you. Ms. Marietta Jensen.
Yate, Mr. Chair, and members of RDC, Shay Marietta Jensen, Yinsha Ado, Nostajadina Anashlina Kaidina Abashichin, Toba Handash Chado, Kiani Dashanella, Do Navajo Band of Minelands Reclamation Banashnish.
Thank you. Ms. Christina Silversmith.
Good morning, Yate, Donald Flusher, Christina Silversmith, Yanchia, Navajo Nation EPA Waste Regulatory Compliance Department, Banashnish. Toy Glini Nishla, but any Bajashi, Tachini Dasha, Torage Ini Dashanella.
Thank you. Ms. Sonia Begay.
Good morning, Chair and everyone on the call. She'e Sonia Begay Inishia, Twitch in Initial Hanagati Bashichin Ki Ani Dashidok Azafana Dashanella, Division of Natural Resources Banashnish.
Thank you. Do we have Ms. Hope Wilson on the call? Hope Wilson. Ms. Rowena Charmaya. None? Anybody on the call that wishes to introduce themselves, you may do so at this time.
Good morning, Honorable Delegate Chair Rick Nez. This is Garrett Silversmith, Navajo Division of Transportation. I'm joined by a couple of staff members, our Deputy Division Director, Ms. Norma Bowman, and Ms. Janelle Benally. Thank you. Good morning, everyone.
Thank you. Good morning, Mr. Silversmith. Bowman?
All right.
Like 20 grand, right? Leo Watchman, Department of Agriculture.
Thank you, Mr. Watchman, for getting on the call with us, sir. Yeah. Anybody else? Next. I hear none. We'll go to number 3 on the agenda, reading of the hearing rules. Mr. Tahi, could you read the hearing rules, please?
The chair, members of Resource and Development Committee. Rules of order for conducting budget hearings. 1. The chairperson of Resource Committee shall preside over the hearing and maintain decorum and order. The vice chairperson of the Resource Committee shall preside in the absence of the chairperson. The committee may select a pro tempore chairperson in the absence of both the committee chairperson and vice chairperson. 2. All members of the committee shall be allowed to ask questions of the presenter. 3. Formal rules of evidence and procedures shall not comply to the budget hearing. The chairperson may exclude evidence that is irrelevant, immaterial, and unduly repetitious. 4, the Office of Management and Budget Personnel shall read into the record the funding summaries for the division, department, and programs prior to commencing presentation by the presenters. 5, all presenters shall be sworn and presented testimony under oath. 6, presenters shall be given a maximum of 20 minutes or less for oral testimony, or may be extended by any committee member. 7, in addition to oral testimonies, presenters shall be allowed to submit written testimony, including any other documents and materials in support of their testimony. The presenters shall identify such materials and documents for the record. 8, testimonies that shall be pertinent to the issues identified by the committee. Testimonies that shall not include materials that are currently in litigation or in a grievance process, except as they relate to the financial impact for budget hearings. 9, recommendations that shall be rendered by the committee in accordance with the fiscal year budget manual for the budget hearings and within no more than 30 calendar days after the conclusion of the budget hearings. 10, all hearings that shall be open to the public, except when the committee determines that the issue and the subject presented to the committee are sensitive and confidential in nature, at which time the committee may convene into an executive session. Chair, members of RDC, that is the rules of order conducting budget hearings read into the record. Back to you, Chairman.
Thank you very much, Mr. Tahi. Yeah. For reading the rules of order. Number 4, on the agenda, we have budget hearings. Today is our last day, and we ask respectfully all the divisions to make sure all the corrections are made, all the exhibits are exchanged. We will have the Navajo Nation Water Rights Commission go first on these revisits, and then the Division of Economic Development, Division of Transportation will be third, Navajo Nation Environmental Protection Agency fourth, fifth will be the Division of Community Development, and then last, Division of Natural Resources. And at this time, before we begin, Ms. Khan, do you have any concerns?
Mr. Chair, members of the Resources and Development Committee, I have nothing to add at this moment, but I will be listening and will let you know if something comes up. Thank you very much for asking me.
Thank you very much, Ms. Khan. We will go to revisits A, Navajo Nation Water Rights Commission. We have with us Ms. Michelle Brown-Yazzie from the Department of Justice Water Rights Unit, as well as Ms. Cecilia Thomas. I believe we'll have Madam Chair for the Water Rights Commission, Ms. Ashley, as well. So at this time, we will have an update on the advertisement for the 2 vacant commission positions, as well as update from OPVP on Northern Agency position, update from Speaker's Office on the Fort Defiance position. Mr. Tahi, do we need to go into executive session for the Water Rights Commission's revisit?
Chair, members of the committee, we won't need to go into executive session as these are 2 positions that are vacant and these positions are open to the public. We are not discussing the Water Rights Commission's operating budget, so this would not require an executive session, just an update on the advertisements of the 2 vacant positions.
Thank you, Mr. Tahi. Do we still have the 20 minutes?
Correct.
Okay. Ms. Michelle Brown-Yazzie, you have 20 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, members of the RDC and guests. Ms. Jolyn Ashley, the chair of the Water Rights Commission, was planning on giving this update. However, since she's not there, I will go ahead and provide the information that I know. As well, Jason John is on the line, and he is a member of the commission related to his position as the director of DWR, so he can add anything if he would like. So in our discussions, we did meet briefly the other day. Ms. Ashley did say that I guess in the past, the advertisement may have gone through the president's office, but the Water Rights Commission is going to go ahead and advertise as required by the establishing law. And I know that there are updates, at least from OPVP. They did send us a memo in regards to the appointment, but I'll go ahead and allow them to provide that information. As to when the advertisement, if it's gone out or not, I don't have that information, but again, it was my understanding that the commission had decided that they'll go ahead and do a new advertisement for the position, even though it's been done in the past and the recent past as well. If Miss Ashley was on, she'd be able to give you more specifics to that. So thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you very much, Ms. Brown-Yazzie. Ms. Thomas, anything you would like to add?
I do not have anything to add. Thank you.
Okay. Ms. Jolyn Ashley, are you on the call with us? Ms. Jolyn Ashley? Chair Ashley? Ms. Brown-Yazzie, did you say OPVP would like to make a statement?
What I said was that they had sent us an email regarding the appointment of the position that they were going to, that the president was going to appoint. And I believe there is someone on the line that could probably give that information.
Okay. Who do we have from the Office of the President, Vice President on the call? Mr. Filford? Mr. Davis Filford. Ms. Teresita Clashen? Tahi?
Chair, members of the Resource and Development Committee, Ms. Teresita Clashen did email me that email that was also shared with Michelle Brown-Yazzie as well as Madam Chair Jolyn Ashley. If you would like, I can read it into the record on where the update is with OPVP on the Northern Agency position.
Thank you, Mr. Tahi. Yes, please. You have the floor at this time to read that into the record.
Chair, members of the Commission, the email from Teresita Clashen was emailed yesterday at 5:04 p.m. It reads as follows.
Mr. Tahi, before you read the email, let me go to Ms. Khan. Ms. Khan, the email that we are about to read from Office of the President, Vice President, if it's a testimony, do we need to provide an oath to them, whoever sent the email?
Mr. Chair, members of the committee, as I listen, I hear that Ms. Clashen, who was the person who sent the email, is not on the call. Therefore, I do not see how an oath can be given. It should be noted in the record that Ms. Clashen wasn't here to provide, to answer the oath, and just note it in the record and go ahead and read the email. And Ms. Clashen and all Navajo Nation employees are held to the ethics standard, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
Okay. The reason I'm asking is under the Rules of Order, number 7, in addition to oral testimony, presenters shall be allowed to submit written testimony, including any other documents and materials in support of their testimony. The presenter shall identify such materials and documents for the record. So we do have the email from Ms. Clashen from the Office of the President, Vice President. She is not on the call or present here but we can submit this for the record, and we will allow Mr. Tahi to go ahead and read the email into the record at this time. Mr. Tahi.
The chair, members of the commission, this email is from Teresita Clashin, which was sent on Thursday at 5:04 p.m. The email reads as follows. Hello. Below is an update regarding the Water Rights Commission for Northern Agency. OPVP has identified a candidate to be on the Water Rights Commission. Nomination by President Nez is forthcoming once a sponsor is identified. After the nominee will go before RDC for appointment/confirmation. If you have any questions, please let me know. Best regards, Teresita Clashin, Executive Staff Assistant. Chair, members of RDC, that is the email read into the record.
Thank you very much, Mr. Tahi. Do we have Madam Chair Ashley on the call with us now?
Mr. Chair, this is Mariana
Yes.
Khan.
Ms.
Just
Khan,
to
go
be,
ahead.
thank you. Just to be very clear, in addition, Mr. Tahi has read the email. In addition, the email, copy of the email should be added to the report or documentation that goes with this hearing. That would be my suggestion, to print it out and add it as a part of these proceedings. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Khan, for pointing that out, that we will have the email as part of the exhibit. Mr. Tahi?
Chair, members of RDC, I emailed out the communications from Ms. Teresita Clashin to RDC members, as well as Office of the Speaker and Office of Legislative Counsel. I will print it and give it to Ms. Karachi for our record. Back to you, Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Tahi. Ms. Michelle Brown-Yazzie, anything you would like to add?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I actually do not have anything more to add. Thank you.
Okay. Mr. Jason John, anything you would like to add?
I do not have anything to add. Thank you.
Thank you. Honorable members of RDC, do you have any comments or questions? I hear none. Thank you, Ms. Michelle Brown-Yazzie. Mr. Tahi, we just need to have all these, the email and all that added to the by Wednesday. So the last bullet point would be update from Speaker's Office on the Fort Defiance position. Ms. Kirk or Chief of Staff Yazzie?
Good morning, Chair Nez and members of the RDC committee. Yes, the Office of the Speaker will be working with the Resources and Development Committee on the advertisement of the position for Fort Defiance. Thank you.
Okay, before you make your statement, Ms. Kirk, I will have to have you take the oath as well. Ms. Nikita Kirk, please stand and raise your right hand. State your name for the record.
Nikita Kirk.
Do you swear to tell the truth in the testimony you are about to give?
Yes.
Thank you. You may be seated. Now you may respond to the update from Speaker's Office on the Fort Defiance position.
Yes, good morning, Chair Nez and members of the Resources and Development Committee. Yes, the Office of the Speaker will be working with the Resources and Development Committee regarding the appointment or the nomination and appointment of the Fort Defiance position. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Ms. Kirk, for that. We look forward to working with Speaker's Office. Honorable members of RDC, any comments or questions? Hi, do you have anything for us?
Chair, members of the Resource Development Committee, I do not have additional information that needs to be shared regarding the revisits and Navajo Water Rights Commission. Back to you, Chairman.
Okay, thank you very much. We have our two colleagues that joined us as well. We'll have them introduce themselves. Honorable Vice Chair Walker.
Yes, Chairman Doe, committee members and staff and presenters for today's meeting, and the listening audience. Thomas Walker Jr., Agent Nadida. Although Tin and he do Chihigi Bishmas on the Janan Jeans and the way to the to on the Hadley. Although Nana Asan, although To, although Sako Asan Ibana Shako, Bishmas on the Hanat Church. Kutelaco, although Don and Shinigi a Shin Hinson. None the being patrol, it would chain the bushes chain. Although thoughts of me should say that that excuse me, that should not. I get the sneed of a cash dot nickel. Okay, Chairman, back to you.
Thank you, Honorable Vice Chair Walker. I don't know. Bishmas Anna, Dak Halando, Hitsala, Honorable Keolan Begay Jr.
Chairman, can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
Chairman, I apologize for getting on late. Kudos that Hanawan hidden and slunky on the Ada Sijabit and he does a check. Although the cheating Ada Shinale Coco Slatan at the Fatat Shaki Low Mountain, Touchy Blue Gap, Salani Cottonwood, Noslini, Ado Mini Farms, but I could Shannon Shinsino, who's at the whole just over it. I could also and that was leader of Chairman. Good morning, everyone.
Thank you, Honorable Begay. Yeah. We're on revisits. Number 4 of the budget hearings. Next will be the Division of Economic Development. We will need to have the Exchange Exhibit A, Fund Type Budget Summary. Exchange Exhibit E, Unmet Needs as well. Mr. J.T. Willie, you have 20 minutes.
Okay, Mr. Chair and honorable members of the Resources and Development Committee. Per the information received from Mr. Tahi from our last meeting with honorable members of the committee, we went through the budget presentation, and as mentioned, the exhibits of concern, I did send those in an Excel format to Mr. Tahi and to do the exchange of information as requested. Mr. Chair, I also am joined on the line by our respective offices from our support services, Mr. Douglas Capitan, as well as Mr. Chi and Mr. Yazi, who participated and did take the oath on Wednesday along with myself. At this time, Mr. Chair, I don't have anything further to present other than the requested documents that we sent over in Excel formats for those modifications. Yeah, Mr. Chair, and I do believe Mr. Tahi has brought those up on the screen.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Capitan?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Yes, you have the floor. Mr. Capitan?
Members of the commission, what's on the screen is Exhibit A at the moment, which is the revised budget. Attached is Exhibit E, the unmet needs. Director Willie, per Ms. Khan's legal advice, a hard copy needs to be printed and hand carried over to Office of Legislative Counsel to the attention of Ms. Mariana Khan. Email was also indicated yesterday when I sent out the revised agenda to all the division directors, deputy directors as well, that a hard copy needs to be presented to you. I will share the electronic version as well to Office of Legislative Counsel and Office of Legislative Services for our record as well.
Willie?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you for that clarification, Mr. Tahi. The requested documents are en route to the Office of Legislative Counsel's office. Ms. Mariana Khan.
Thank you. Ms. Khan, would you like to add anything?
Mr. Chair, members of the Resources and Development Committee, I was just about to make that same statement that Mr. Tahi said with regard to the original, and that is because of the signatures at the bottom of the page. That would be the reason to have a copy of the original, and that will become part of the official exhibit. That is, as all exhibits are part of the resolution, and those exhibits become eventually stored in the Navajo Nation's Records Office. So in order to keep those documents and to preserve them and to have an actual signed copy of the division directors and the relevant signatures on file with the Navajo Nation Records Office, and that is the reason for delivering of the hard copies. Mr. Chair, after this one, if the whoever is delivering the hard copy, it could just be delivered to Mr. Tahi. Mr. Tahi, if you are in the building at the land department, that would be sufficient as far as delivery of the document.